This is Sky Blues Extra.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another instalment of Sky Blues Extra. It's me and Tom with you this evening after what was a very dull 0-0 draw in the end for the Sky Blues. Two pretty tired teams, it looked like. Very lethargic legs out there. No real quality on show in that final third to secure a win. But I suppose we've got to be happy with a point, Tom, at the end of that, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think, first half they had some good chances, didn't they? We could have easily been 1 or 2 down. So, and like people on Twitter, saying Robin should have changed it, should have gone to up front and all that. I mean, like at the end of the day, if you can't win it, don't lose it. So, we could have lost that game. I know we keep saying it, but a point isn't a bad result against Huddersfield, is it?
Absolutely not. I think people forget that we're newly promoted. That's 8 unbeaten now. Another clean sheet. 6 points above the relegation zone. There's so many positives to take.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Rotherham, they were 1-0 up tonight at Blackburn, and they conceded in like the 86th and the 90 whatever minute it was, and they threw it away. Do you know what I mean? They're like a newly promoted team. We're not doing stuff like that. We're grinding out points. So, yeah,
I think that's the most important thing. Just pick up the points. There's going to be times during the season where we're not going to be able to fathom anything really. Never mind take a point against it. Let's be honest, this Huddersfield side are a decent side. I know they're missing a few key players, but that first half, I was happy to go in 0-0, to be honest. I thought we were being overrun. They were technically better than us. They were finding space all over the pitch. And to go in 0-0, I thought that was a great result.
Agree, mate.
And it need a little bit more quality, obviously, in that second half. But I don't think we can be too down with how things have gone so far, not just tonight, but in the season overall.
I agree, mate. I agree. And, mate, forget Liam Kelly pyjamas. Get the Gustavo Hamer pyjamas out, mate.
What an incredible performance. He was everywhere on the pitch, defending, attacking, taking pop shots. Yeah. He was in the ref's ear as well, which was brilliant to see. It's nice to see that as well, because we've been too cute, haven't we?
Yeah, I say only downside that he got booked, which was a ridiculous booking, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there's your mum popping up with shame about his yellow. It was a shame. And in no way is that a yellow card. He's making an attempt to kick the football. Okay, the player's in ahead of him, but it's not malicious.
No, it's not intentional, is it? Which shouldn't warrant a yellow card.
No, absolutely.
Was the cut off tonight for
20 games? So he will be banned now for one match. Yeah.
Match. Okay.
Yeah, so he'll miss Sheffield Wednesday, which is disappointing. But I really think the Sheffield Wednesday game is the one where we could potentially get a win. I didn't think we were going to win tonight. I thought tonight was the tougher of the two games, if I'm perfectly honest. And to come out with a point is great.
Yeah, the only thing for me is like the Tony Pulis factor that comes in. I think you mentioned it on the pod. It's like he is going to get his first win at some point, and there'll be a big deal of it. Like he's got his first win and. That worries me a little bit, but yeah, on paper it's obviously it's a winnable game. But if it's a 1-game ban, I'm glad Hamer's back in for the Stoke game, because I think that's the sort of game where you need Hamer.
Yeah, really. It's going to be a bit nasty, a bit gritty, isn't it?
Exactly. We really miss him against Stoke, I think.
And it gives him a nice rest now. That takes him to past Christmas to the Boxing Day match.
Yeah.
So he should be bang up for it. Come the Christmas period, we hope.
You did it on purpose, so you can have a couple of Christmas beers.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, a few SOTVs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's your show, obviously, as well as ours. So keep your comments coming in. We're going to reveal the winner of the competition a little bit later on as well. You can come onto the show. We've got Glenn waiting in the wings. We'll come to you in a second. Glenn, of course, he's waiting in the wings. He absolutely loves it, does Glenn?
Yeah,
and absolutely not. No, but. Feel free, anyone else to come on. It's very easy to do so. You just find the link on the Twitter page. I think Tom's tweeted it, and you literally just press connect, and that's it. You'll be waiting in a little green room, and we'll bring you into the show as soon as we can. Tom, let's go through some of the comments. Good to see Largy with us again this evening. The game of 2 sitters, apart from Hamer, our whole attacking lineup did look bang average. I thought as well, I didn't really think Allen got into the game as much as he could have. O'Hare went missing for large periods as well, and Walker just wasn't in it at all, was he?
No, not really. I think, yeah, Allen probably had one of his better games this season, but I suppose there's not much to compare it against. But I thought he did okay. Like you say, O'Hare barely noticed him, to be honest, in the game, and yeah, Walker was fairly isolated, to be honest. Yeah, so
Yeah, nothing to do with the football, but a great shave on Tom this evening. I think everyone should compliment Tom's shave. He's looking trim tonight. Mark's obviously commented on the 8 unbeaten, but we should have nicked it. Yeah, that chance at the end. I think it was Sarr nicked it off Biami's foot, didn't he? It was really unlucky. And Dabo, that was the only thing Dabo really did all night.
yeah, didn't have his best game probably, but yeah, he did really well on that one. And what a great piece of defending that was to hoik it off the line.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, sort of typical Biamu sort of involvement, really, wasn't it, in that sort of goal? But yeah, no, it should have gone over the line, but not quite.
It will run for us at some point this season, I'm sure. Steve, obviously, keep picking up those points. Thought we'd lose today, so a point gain definitely. I was firmly in that camp. I didn't think we'd potentially win, but to pick up a point is brilliant. Players are treading water in all leagues. Good to have you with us again, Danny, this evening. The schedule is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, that's 3 midweeks we've played on the trot now, as well as a Saturday game. So six games in the space of 20 days or something like that. It's bonkers, isn't it? You can't keep everyone fit and healthy through that period.
No, exactly. Like, you're going to expect to have games where you're really tired, and this is what I mean about getting points. I'm glad we're not losing games, because if you're a team that is losing games at the moment, and you've got fatigue and you've got injuries and suspensions, you can get yourself into a bit of a rut. But the fact that we're unbeaten in is it 8 now?
Yep, it's 8. Yep.
I mean, yeah, 8 games unbeaten in the Championship. That's brilliant. That is in a run of games like that.
Sure. We'll take a couple of more comments before we get Glenn in. Point and a clean sheet, not a bad result, but could have been so much worse. Sheaf is making too many mistakes. Every chance they had came from him. It's as if he thinks he's got more time on the ball. Yeah, this was something I was thinking about, because he gave away a really, really cynical chance in that first half by trying to flick the ball over somebody, which is unneeded. Yeah. Does he still think he's in League One?
Possibly, yeah. Possibly. I mean, even Doncaster fans were criticising him a bit from when he played for them. So I don't know if it's just his style of play or whatever, but yes, certainly he's not going to get as much time as he was when he was playing there. So yeah, he did give the ball away. Fads was giving it away a bit tonight as well. Just frustrating, isn't it?
It is, especially when, we're the makers of our own downfall sometimes. You just don't need to. Just hoof it clear. Just get rid.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can pick up a second ball. Because sometimes we just can't match the level that other teams have got in the Championship. It's just the way it is. We're brand new to this division. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Do you think we tried too hard to play our football? You mean?
Yeah. Just do the simple things right for me. Sometimes we try and be too clever. And that will cost us more than we'll gain from it, I think. I just can't see us playing the same way out of the Championship, or at least to a decent level in the Championship, the way we did in League One with the players we've got. That is. Yeah,
I agree with
that. Scott, any word on Kelly? The last we heard, he had a scan, but that's it.
Yeah,
maybe Robbins will come out.
I've heard whispers of 2 months, but we'll wait and see on that.
Let's hope not. Let's just hope it's a slight strain and it's 2 to 3 weeks, because it showed tonight, didn't it, that we lost Liam Kelly, and the team in the middle of the pack just doesn't look the same. It's as simple as that.
No, it really doesn't.
And the final one before we get Glenn in. No, we've already had that. This one here from Dan. Frustrated to see one out and out striker for the whole game. I'm not of that camp, to be honest. I think if we had another striker up there, we're going to get overrun in midfield. We looked like we were getting overrun at times, as it was tonight. You take one of the players out from that midfield and take them up front, they've got more of an opportunity, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think for the lack of attacking intent we had tonight, we looked relatively solid at the back. Apart from the one when they got through on goal and hit the side netting. But I was concerned that if he does, because when Biamu was coming on, I was like, what's he going to do here?
Yeah.
And if he takes a man out of the midfield, I was like, they could potentially carve us open. So yeah, I'm on the side of we shouldn't have played two up front tonight, but I can see why people are frustrated, because they've watched a boring game and we haven't had many chances again. But yeah, it is what it is.
I think people underestimate Huddersfield, to be honest. This is a team with the second highest possession in the league at 57%. Their accuracy of passing is 80%. It's the second highest again. They make less tackles per game, than any other team in this division because they keep hold of the football. If we got overrun in the middle tonight, it could have been an absolute disaster, and we've come out of this game with a point.
Yeah, exactly. I think because they're 14th in the table, I think people think they're perhaps not a very good side, but I think their league position is probably a little bit false, isn't it? And they're obviously going through a bit of a transition period, but they've got some brilliant players in their team, and definitely not an easy game. And the fact that they got beaten 5-0 against Bournemouth is, in my mind, a bit irrelevant because Bournemouth are an absolute class above this league.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are going to get beaten 3 or 4-0. Anyone below the top 6 will get thumped by Bournemouth this season, in my opinion.
We only had to see what happened with us against Bournemouth. We won a high at that point, weren't we,
I think 3-1's a good result looking back.
It probably was, yeah. Right, let's bring Glenn in. Glenn, good to have you with us again this evening. How are you feeling after that, mate?
It was pretty much deja vu to the Luton and the Birmingham games, wasn't it? It was,
yeah.
I think neither. I think he would have taken a point, the Huddersfield manager, and I think Robbins was quite happy with a point. I don't think either side tried to win it again, did they, really?
Absolutely not, no.
Which you can understand, and it's one of them. If we stay up, those games don't matter. If we get relegated by 2-3 points, you look back at them games and say maybe we should have gone for it a bit more in one of those games. So I think he's gone for being consistent and pragmatic and hard to beat. And we'll come what may or whenever the season finishes, we'll know whether Robbins has been proved right or not.
There's a couple of fans making the point, Glenn, on Twitter this evening. I'm just scrolling through the PUSB tweets now that we're not very fun to watch. Do we have to be fun?
No, I think do you want to be Mourinho-ish and hard to beat and get results, or do you want to be like the great, like the entertainers of like the Kevin Keegan era? We're never gonna. If you try and keep winning games 3-2, you're gonna get thwacked by somebody like we have done this season. So I think, I think obviously,
I think we're in the season where we're just trying to stay up, aren't we? And we probably aren't going to be. We're not, and the problem is because we did so well in League One and we were so good to watch. The expectation has been raised, which is normal, and people are expecting to see a great game every week. But Robbins is just trying to keep us in this league, and points. A point a game does do that for you. But I think if we can stay in the league, then he can build on it, and perhaps next season we can be a bit more adventurous, and we might try and finish in the top half and try and win games and whatever. But we're just trying to stay up in the league, aren't we? Really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're trying to do what West Brom are trying to do in the Premier League, which is why they've got rid of Bilic and got Allardyce in, because they want.
Whoa, you don't want to get rid of Robbins, do you, Glenn? Jesus.
No, but that's the style they've got. They've obviously gone for Bilic, who's probably a bit more nice football and whatever, to a bit more pragmatic. We're going to be hard to beat. We're going to grind a few 1-0s out. And I think, could Robbins have gone for it today? Yeah. Is there other managers in the league that probably would have gone for it? Yeah, they probably would. But ultimately, you've only got to look at what the teams that got promoted last year. A lot of them were very well. Luton did a miraculous run to stay up. Charlton dropped like a stone, and
Barnsley were lucky, weren't they?
Barnsley should have gone down.
Barnsley should have gone down, and Wigan got done, and that kept them up. So I think where we are, I just think a lot of it rides on the next 2 games. If we get positive results in the next 2 games, it's not bad. If we don't win the next 2 and we lose at Sheffield Wednesday, which I have worries about because we never tend to do well there from part of the cup semi-final. I just worry that we don't tend to do well there, and Pewter side and the way they've been playing. I mean, last night all the fans were up against the player for handshaking with Graben after he scored. I just think they've probably hit the lowest point they could do, and they're just an awkward side. And
I'm with you on that, Glenn. I'm worried about Saturday.
Yeah, especially now Haymat. They've got Bannon. They've got people. They've got some good players in that team, and they shouldn't be where they are really. And I just saw signs tonight. There was a few players who weren't on it. McCallum weren't great defensively. I don't think that was Dabo's best game, but then actually for the 5-10 minutes before we got taken off, he actually did all right. Sheaf wasn't particularly great. Walker
Just looked the
just
leggy
gets no
performance,
serve.
wasn't it, from across the pitch, really?
They just look flat. And I mean, Giles came on. As soon as Giles came on, he gave us a bit of spark and got hold of it. And I just think I don't know how he's going to play it.
I think he's been very unlucky, Ryan Giles, hasn't he? He's been one of our top class performers this season, and even in that forward role, he's played really well. And to be dropped the last couple of weeks, I think that's a real dent on his season.
I just think for him, looking at their team and looking how much their right back got forward, I think if you'd had Giles on the pitch, there would have been space for him to exploit, which I don't think Alan O'Hare as much would have exploited. I think they seem to get down the sides of us and exploit us, whereas I don't think really McCallum, or we got 2v1s against that Pippa or whatever his name was. But yeah, I'll be interested to see what he does Saturday, because I would personally go 2 up top, but I've got a feeling he'll probably bring in Shipley or someone else for Hamer, which might not be the best move.
But not after Saturday's performance, that's for sure. Glenn, great to have you again with us this evening. Really thankful for your thoughts, and hopefully you can join us on Saturday again.
No worries. See you later.
Cheers, Glenn. Thanks,
Cheers, Glenn.
mate.
Take care, mate.
And just before we move on, we're going to do the draw now for the signed Matty Godden poster.
I've actually got a hat.
Tom's got his hat. He's had it on all day. I've
stolen it from somewhere. I don't know where I've stolen it from, but there you go.
And
right.
just before we do that, Tom, I'm just going to remind everybody, we do have some really, really nice apparel on the Sky Blues Extra website. So if you're looking for that Christmas gift for the Sky Blues fan in your life, so really nice posters, T-shirts, really, really good quality, including the Matty Godden poster, obviously unsigned, but this one that Tom's about to draw now is for the signed one. So here we go.
So here we go.
Everyone in this draw is who retweeted, shared all Saturday's live show. So here we go. Tom, drum roll. Boom.
Can you see that?
It's Dave.
And his handle is Temple Row.
I thought it said Toblerone.
Temple Row.
What's your favourite flavour of Toblerone, Tom?
My favourite Toblerone?
Yeah, it can't be the white,
do different
surely.
flavours.
Yeah, white, dark, milk.
White's too sickly, mate.
No, come on.
Dark. I'll go dark.
Everybody, let us know in your comments who's your favourite. What's your favourite Toblerone?
Dave Temple Row.
At Temple Row, Dave. Brilliant.
I'll get our Dave to sort it out on the page.
Nice one, Dave. Well done, mate. Lovely signed Matty Godden poster is winging its way to you. Hopefully it'll be there by Christmas so you can hang it up on Christmas Day and do some praying on it like we did on Beckham's metatarsal before the World Cup to get Matty Godden back in this squad, because we need him. I mean, he's a massive hole in this team. I mean, we've got holes all over the pitch. You know, Morosi, first choice goalkeeper's gone.
But Wilson's been all right.
Yeah, he has, yeah. Fair play to him. Sky Blues Extra, Wilson, I'll have you know. Some say Michael Rose is our best defender. He's been missing for pretty much the majority of the season. We're losing Kelly now, probably our best and most influential player at the club, and Matty Godden, our goal scorer. It's huge gaps in this team, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, we've not been blessed with. I mean, I know other clubs have got worse injuries, but we've not been that blessed with injuries so far this season, have we? So yeah. Although, I mean, if Godden did come back, I mean, how would he fit in? Because we're still playing that one up top, aren't we? So
I think he's more busy. He's more busy than Walker.
Yeah, so you just straight swap him in. Yeah,
I just think he'll gain a lot more from those games like tonight where they're a little bit more scrappy, and he loves a fight, and he loves, he's got great desire, tenacity, got a great footballing brain, so he could have picked up on some of those loose balls there this evening. But then again, I also think Walker and Godden would work really, really well together as well, because they're both busy and they can both work off each other. So, there's signs there when they're both back in play, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Michael's making the same point. Our strength and depth is killing us, and it is to an extent. But then again, Robbins isn't making changes, is he? That's another thing, Does he think his squad's not good enough?
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. I think we said the same in the Luton game. I think we said, it's like, right, what changes is he going to make? And you think, well, there's not much really on the bench, is there?
Castanea.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Bring
what
back
that's the problem.
Jermaine Castanea.
You got your options to really make an exciting change are Castaner, who hasn't played for whenever, and you don't know what's going to happen when he comes on. He could literally just not be asked to play, or he could score a worldie.
Yeah.
And you got Jabello, who probably isn't quite match fit yet and can't really get match fitness because he doesn't fit into the team. So we don't really have any options, to be honest, do we?
Mark's making that point there. We don't have a plan B at times. The subs are like for like. We need someone just behind the striker to hold the ball up. And I suppose to an extent, when Biamu and Walker played in that game versus Rotherham, they worked really, really well together, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they linked up really well. Biamu was holding it up well, both for each other, really, weren't they? So, but yeah, didn't quite work.
SkyBluesExtra fans, get your man of the match nominations in. We'll read the best of those out towards the end of the show. Who would you go for, Tom?
Hamer, easy.
I think it's pretty much nailed on, isn't it? Yeah, he was all over the pitch there tonight.
Yeah, I'd say Hamer, and then like a special mention to Wilson again. I think just because he didn't have a huge amount to do tonight, but when he was called upon, he made a couple of really good saves. So I think fair play to him.
Yeah, exactly. Making that point there.
I think that's the thing as a keeper. When you don't have a lot to do in a game, you just stood there most of the night, and then suddenly a shot whips in and you save it well like that. I think that's a good sign.
And Maddie's making that point as well. He's gaining in confidence. That one-handed save was absolutely brilliant, and it was it was only about 5 yards away from him, and to get down and to make the save and a big strong hand to push it away was great to see.
Yeah. His distribution again as well. He's playing that sort of sweeper keeper role a little bit tonight, and I think that was really important.
We've got a few people saying that it was rigged. That's definitely not the case. Tom, we can empty all the names out of the hat, Tom, can't we? There you go. Was that an empty one I just saw?
It wasn't rigged because I don't even know who Dave is, to be honest with you.
But well done to Dave. Dave's a winner. We'll have some more giveaways soon on SkyBluesExtra, that's for sure. Let's have a look at some more comments. Nigel saying with the fans there next season, half of the draws will become win. It is a big point, isn't it? Fans, and I'm hearing that Sheffield is going to be moved into Tier 2 tomorrow, so they're going to have fans at Hillsborough, which is going to be a bit of a nightmare to go into.
Interesting, yeah, it does change it slightly, doesn't it? Yeah, no, I think that's a good point, really. We're sat there and we're saying, this game's really boring or whatever, but, you got to think, I suppose, of the players who are playing in an empty St Andrews. It can't be great doing that. No. So that probably makes it a bit boring. Like, what gives them that little extra, boost of like 10% at the end of the game to nick a goal or whatever?
I like how everyone's got involved with my Toblerone chat. People are saying almond, Liam Varney, almond. You know what to get your mum for Christmas there, Tom? Dark. Yeah. Russ is going with dark as well. No white fans. Which
should do a poll in the morning on SkyBluesExtra.
Yeah, best Toblerone flavour. The winner will win a signed one
Rizzo
from
will
me.
be fuming.
I'll sign one and send it in the post. But I can't make sure that it probably will be eaten. It will probably be.
What about a signed Toblerone?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, just I'll do it. Next,
all right, Matty, can you sign this Toblerone, please?
I've seen in airports you can get a personalised Toblerone, so maybe we can get one with squad names on.
What, Liam Kelly Toblerone?
Oh, don't stop it. Imagine eating a Liam Kelly Toblerone in your Liam Kelly pyjamas.
Is that your dream Christmas present?
I think, yeah. Well, hopefully my mum and dad have got me
almond
some,
Liam Kelly Toblerone.
Yeah, all I've asked for is some pyjamas, so if they haven't got Liam Kelly's noggin on there, I'm not interested. I'll be sending them back.
Yeah, definitely.
Sky is saying here that Godden's back in training tomorrow. So
wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I heard that he's back possibly this week or next week into training. So yeah,
that would be good. He's also saying that Liam Kelly will be out 2 and 3 months, which is an absolute disaster.
Yeah, that's not good, is it?
Real big disaster. And do we have to dip into that transfer market now on?
Possibly, but we don't have any money, do we?
No. Some people are going to have to be taken off the books and. We're going to have to get...
Yeah, but we probably have to sell 3 or 4 players to get one, wouldn't we? Or can we get anyone on loan? I mean, the loan market's not great in January, is it?
It isn't.
It's a tough one.
It is.
Yeah.
Liam's staying wide in Hills and play. I pretty sure he played 90 minutes in that under 23s match, and he scored an absolute worldie apparently from a free kick. So that's good to see. Maybe he's slowly adapting now to life in the UK, and he's getting his breathing issue sorted, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Nigel's saying, imagine what Jones would bring to the side if fit. Yeah, a guy with an X factor, isn't he? He's a guy who could potentially change a game at the drop of a hat. Here, people say normal now. Normal Toblerones. Here we go. Sky's with me. White Toblerones.
Too sickly, mate. It's like white Terry's chocolate orange. Too sickly.
I'm not having that, Tom. Not having that. Right, should we talk about a few moments from the game?
Yeah.
What about that little bit of play from the Huddersfield corner, the one that Wilson saved?
Yeah.
And we broke at pace. Allen was involved, O'Hare was involved, and it just lacked the finish, didn't it? It was a brilliant
breakaway, wasn't it? It was like almost the perfect breakaway, really, wasn't it? Every pass was perfect. And then, I think it bobbled a bit for Hamish. It was Hamish shot, wasn't it, over the bar?
Yeah.
I think
you could see what he was trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really blame what he did. I think that was the right thing to do. Like, hit a load of power behind it, like maybe a little bit out of reach for the keeper, and I fully expected it to go in the top corner, but I think it just took a slight bobble, and he obviously was a little bit rushed to take it, and it's obviously gone over the bar, but it wasn't far off, was it?
No, it wasn't. It just
all of Hamish shots
right.
actually.
It was just rising, wasn't it?
Yeah, he does have a fair few efforts outside the box, and I have to say, he's never like. He's only within a foot every time, isn't he? You never see him absolutely blast it.
Do you know what's really surprising for me? How much of pace he's got. He's got a real nice turn of speed where he can get away from a player very, very quickly. Not just by his technical ability, but his actual raw pace can take him away. And that's something a lot of sort of players with that sort of passing ability don't have, and that's something in his locker.
Yeah, definitely.
Sky is saying bring back Walsh on loan if fit. I just don't think it's plausible, unfortunately.
He's not fit for one. He's injured at the moment, so or he was 2 weeks ago when we spoke to him. So, he's coming back from injury, so he's not going to be ready. That's the problem. We're not going to take him on loan and then get him back to fitness, which will take a month or whatever. Plus the fact I don't think he's part of Bristol's plans. I think so. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get him, but. Who knows? Who knows what might happen in the summer?
I'm not sure who was on co-commentary on Sky tonight, but he made it
was what's his name? Ex-player with like curly hair.
Keith Andrews,
yeah.
So he made a really, really good point. When we were out of possession of the football, we dropped back really, really well and made that solid back five.
Yeah.
And that worked really, really well until Mbenza had that chance and he took it around Wilson. They played through us so easy.
Absolutely nutmegged. Yeah. Who was it? Was it Ostergaard or?
Yeah, he stepped out so quickly, but it was schoolboy defending. People were just chasing a football over the pitch, and how he didn't finish or pass the ball across the box. I don't know.
He actually should have squared it really, because one of those where when you're on the angle, it's weirdly easier to sort of like whip it across than it is to like direct it at the goal from that angle. And he's gone for the shot and he's hit the side end. When I watched the replay, it did go quite wide, actually, wider than I thought in real time. But still, he should have squared it or finished it. Yeah, we were very, very lucky to get away with
that. Some of the man of match comments coming in. Leon Varney with Ben Wilson. Yep, he had a really, really good game. Danny with Hamer. Dave with Ben Wilson. Nothing about the game, but apparently Castaneer's still sliding around. I think that'll be the ongoing joke with it with Castaneer. There's another one here. I think we've had this one. Ben Wilson by Dave. Hamer man of the match. Lots of Hamers.
Yeah, I think Hamer or Wilson. I think they both had really good games for different reasons. Hamer was involved in absolutely everything. And Wilson didn't have a lot to do, but when he did really well, which isn't actually easy as a goalkeeper. So different sort of performances, but both very, very good on the night.
All right, looking ahead then to Saturday, huge game potentially, bottom of the league, Sheffield Wednesday. Game. It's one of those games against a bottom of the league club where we don't generally turn up, and we only turn up against the decent sides. How do you envisage this one going, Tom?
Yeah, it does worry me a bit, to be honest, mate. But like,
I suppose there's so many factors going against us, right? The
Yeah.
Pulis haven't won.
the
Fans are going
Pulis,
to be back.
thing, it's like, even Robbins is probably thinking that. He's probably thinking, oh, why do I have to be the manager to go to Sheffield Wednesday? Fans are back in. Pulis needs a win. Hamer's not in the team. It's like, Kelly's out injured. It's just like a lot of factors. Having said that, what are they? They're on 9 points. We're on 22, so it's not catastrophic if we lose it. Like, it isn't, but it will feel like it.
Yeah, definitely. It's just one of those games. I think in the past we've just lacked something that cutting edge to win the match, especially against teams that in and around us. It's a real potential banana skin for sure.
But again, it's difficult, isn't it? It's like, how do we set up for this one? Because if we go and play for a point, are the fans going to be raging again?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking now. And people are like really, really annoyed about the result tonight, and I'm like, why? There is no need to be annoyed or angry tonight. It's a really, really good result.
We're 6 points safe of Derby, and that's only because they won. We would have been more if they hadn't won tonight.
Sometimes I just think the fans. What are we expecting from this team this season? We're not gonna get near the playoffs. It's
I think that's the thing. Like, even
survive.
tonight, I just sort of had this realization. I was like, this is very much like the first season back in League One, where we didn't make the playoffs, and we probably weren't that close like we thought we were in the season. And Robbins probably saw it as a consolidation season, and actually did probably a bit better than he expected. We're probably aiming for mid-table. I think it's the same again this season. I think we couldn't go out and buy loads of players in the summer. We did well to get players like Hamer and Walker. It's about as far as we could go. But next summer we can build again, and we can build a lot better, and it'll be a normal transfer window where we haven't got all the COVID stuff going on, and like different starting of the season at different times and all that kind of stuff.
I think you make a good point there, because we've got so many good building blocks in place already. It's just about getting those bricks around, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like, maybe this season maybe squad depth is a problem for us, but next year he makes 4 or 5. The thing we know about Robbins, he makes signings in the summer. Like, he does. He'll do it. If we make 4 or 5 really good signings next summer and keep most of this team together, we'll progress, and we might try and finish 12th next season. That's probably the plan that he's got in his head. This season is just all about survival at all costs.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
At all costs.
I can't disagree with that. We've got a couple of comments about Saturday's game. Danny saying we've got a few missing, so why not go attack minded and play 3-5-2? It's a potential. I just feel like Robbins is in it not to lose matches rather than go on the attack, which is fine. But it's so it will get on people's nerves, obviously. But like we've just said there, it's a case of survival.
Exactly.
Maddie, thanks for joining us tonight, Maddie. Hope we go for the win. A point in the form there would not be a good return, in my opinion. Absolutely. With Sheffield Wednesday's form and where they are in the table, we should be looking to win matches.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost the last 4 games, but you can say, oh, they've lost the last 4, we should beat them, but at the same time, they've got to win a game at some point, haven't they?
Sure, and
they're going to win a game in the next 3 games.
So what will happen? They'll beat us. Someone will score their first ever goal in professional football against us, and they'll have fans in there for the first game. It's just inevitable what will happen. Sky saying go on the attack rather than play it safe to nick a draw. Keep your comments coming in about the Wednesday game on Saturday.
I suppose
Wednesday game on Saturday.
The only argument I can make for going all out a bit on Saturday is that we've got Stoke on Boxing Day, haven't we? Which I think is a really tough game, and we probably are going to have to play it a bit safer against Stoke. So
we've got a big gap though, Tom. Don't forget we've got a 7-day window for rest, which is really needed. It showed tonight, which is going to be key, isn't it? That.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, Mark saying Wednesday won't get past our wall of defence. I don't think they've got too many options up front. It doesn't seem, whatever they're trying. I think they've tried 8 different formations in 19 games, and nothing's worked. So they're still looking for potential things that will work for them. Maddie saying a point is a point. We need all the points we can get. That's true. This is a good one for Daz. Picked up a dog on the day of the Watford game, so didn't watch it. The dog has watched every game of me since, and we haven't lost. Coincidence or a sign from God? Potentially.
Fair.
I'm feeling the same thing about this white shirt. Now, I'd wear the new home shirt, but every time I've wore this white shirt from a couple of seasons ago, we haven't lost. So I'm going to keep it. I'm not washing it. One. And secondly, I'm going to keep going.
Keep it on. It's a really boring shirt, that. No offence, Dean, but
it is a boring shirt.
It's quite boring, isn't it?
But to be honest, Tom, I like my shirts how my life is. It is quite boring.
They suit your lifestyle.
Plain, simple, boring. That's pretty much
the best
me.
kit was the third one from that season, the black and green one. That was nice.
Yeah, I can picture Bright Enabakari scoring and doing some.
Yeah, it's one of those where if you put it up and
celebration.
said, like, what's this kit? Who does this kit remind you of? It'd be Bright, wouldn't it?
Yeah. What
definitely.
about the yellow one from last year? Who would that remind you of?
What was the yellow one last year? Gordon, Tranmere
Really?
away.
Okay.
Yeah.
When he did the free again, yeah. And I think the black and white kit for Gordon as well.
Yeah. Oh, the two-tone. Yeah, definitely. Maybe Walsh as well.
Yeah, there's a really nice group picture of them all when they're celebrating a goal.
Yeah.
We should get that on a poster, Tom. Who'd have thought it?
Yeah. Yeah. Speak to head office, mate.
Head office, yeah, for sure. A lot of people are talking about, obviously, the squad. Largely saying we need to clear out a few of the fringe players need to be cut. I'd chip out 5 or 6 of them. Yep.
I just think it's like what I was saying about coming into the season. We couldn't sign that many players, so we had to just make do with what we had. Like Robin's probably deep down looks at his bench and thinks, like this lot are just sort of, they're just options if we have to use them. I do think that, to be honest.
Yeah, and Ken makes a really good point. There's no easy games in this division. It's a really tough league. I mean, it's the 5th most watched and most talked about league in European football. I saw that stat today about with the team who's hit the woodwork the highest amount of times. You can add another one on there from tonight. We hit the post. So,
At least we'll be top of that league by the end of the season.
Yeah, well,
the European Woodwork League.
It's small wins, Tom. Absolutely.
Do we get a trophy, do you reckon?
We can make one, I'm sure. We've got a small budget, lacking experience at Championship striker. We create chances. I think to an extent we do create chances, but we could always create more. And that's where the likes of O'Hare going missing in games sometimes just really grinds me down a little bit, because I think we could do a lot more, right?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Aaron's saying that he prefers Giles a lot more going forward. I think that's true to an extent.
Although McCallum impressed me tonight. Yeah, I thought McCallum was good tonight. Yeah, no, I thought he did well.
I think for the first 20 minutes he had that Pippa on strings, and he should have been booked, Pippa, straight away.
Yeah.
And then that
he was drawing a lot of fouls, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got into the game a little bit more, and I think he sort of outwitted McCallum a little bit. He was pretty much on his toes most of the game. But, it is what it is. There's a really good comment here that I'm just trying to find. It might stir up a little bit of conversation. Here it is. So Dean is saying, just a thought, but is it worth dropping Max into Kelly's role in midfield? We know he can hold the ball up as Kelly does, plus we have the benefit of additional strike on the pitch if we need to chase the game. Interesting. Someone was making the point of bringing Dabo into the midfield as well on the Coventry forums in the summer. And I think that's even more left field, Dean, if I'm honest. What's your thoughts on that, Tom?
Something there's never crossed my mind.
Let's just put it back on the screen again. He wants Max Biamu in central midfield.
I mean,
I'd stay off the baby shams, Dean. If I'm honest, it's not Christmas yet.
Yes, it's an interesting one. That I don't really know if it would work.
No, I just don't think it'll work. Leon obviously commenting on Kelly out for 2-3 months. That's going to be a really, really big hole left in this team. A lot of people are saying Max played in midfield when he first started playing.
Yeah, but when Max first started playing, he was in like the French bloody Sunday League, wasn't he? So
I think you'd probably get a game in there, Tom.
Exactly, mate. That's what I'm thinking. Wherever they want me to play as well.
Absolutely. A lot of people are saying no to the Max in midfield. So I said, put McFadzine up top. Now I saw on
that.
Facebook if McFadzine had scored tonight, someone was going to get a tattoo of a certain Sonny on their body.
Ah, interesting.
It's been causing a little bit of a stir today.
Yeah,
That would
I
have
learned a
been
new
nice
word
to
today,
see.
Dean, actually.
Go on.
Where is it? Hang on. I've forgotten what it is now. Scat rag.
I might change my Twitter handle to Scatrag.
Dean the scat rag.
Yeah. I'm a scat rag. Chris is saying Allen was impressive tonight. What do you think of Jamie Allen's performance?
I think, like, impressive by his standards this season. Yeah, but still not hitting the levels that we expect from him, I would say. I'm just a bit disappointed with him this season because I thought he was really good last season. Obviously, he only played half a season, didn't he? And I felt like he's one of those that'd be like a new signing. And he's played in the Championship before, so I thought he'll definitely be able to play at this level. And he hasn't really hit those levels. But I'd say tonight was one of his best games this season. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he did enough for me tonight. But it's the game sort of overran that midfield completely, and he didn't really get the opportunity to show what he's good at, which is moving forward with the ball, creating a little bit of space for other people, bringing people into play, a little bit of technical work. Sky is making the comment of, is Allen someone we look to sell in January? I don't think we do.
We can afford to. I don't think we can afford to.
It's not even just affording to. I think he's a really, really good squad player to have.
This is what I mean, though. I mean, if we start getting rid of players like Allen, if you get rid of Allen, then you've got to get rid of Shipley. And I don't know, like, do you know what I mean? That's he ranks above quite a few players, I think, in our squad. And we haven't got a huge amount of options as it is, so he definitely he has to stay, in my opinion.
Sure.
Presumably he'll start again on Saturday, won't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Tony's recommended we get Jim O'Brien back.
Where's he now? Is he at Shrewsbury now?
Yeah, I think David Bell's also available, and Sammy Clingan as well. Let's bring
back together.
We are getting the band back.
Get Adam Barton back in.
Adam Barton. Wow, he was that tall fella, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Couldn't trap a bag
someone
of
said
cement.
to me today, one of my mates said to me today that that Sheaf reminds him of Adam Barton. I said that's actually quite a good shout.
Yeah, I think he's got a better touch. He's got a better touch than Adam Barton, for sure. We'll just do a couple.
He's at Notts County now.
Right. We'll just do a couple more comments before we wrap things up. Dean's holding with a suggestion, which is he's more than entitled to. I think you want to get on the phone to Mark Robbins and put that suggestion to him. That's not one I'm going to put forward, but fair play to you, Dean, and fair play to you for sticking with it. People are saying, what about Scowcroft? Big Scowcroft, Doyler's available.
We just do a quick round of what's the most obscure COV player you can think of?
Julian Dow. Okay, for the next minute, who's the most obscure player you'd like to bring back to the club to fill the hole in midfield?
Mine, Dean. Mine's Denzel Slager.
Yeah, he's not a midfielder though, Tom.
Oh, we only go midfielders?
Let's go midfielders, yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
So it's got to be a central midfielder.
All right, hang on, let me have a quick look.
Look at you going through the old list now, aren't you?
Yeah, I love doing this. CCFC squad 2009 on Wikipedia. It's great.
We had Doyle wasn't there then.
09 was quite good. That was like the Coleman era, wasn't it?
08, 09, wasn't it? That's when we had Mackenzie.
Yeah, very good team that year. McPake, Elliot Ward.
Freddie Eastwood.
Yeah, we had,
here we go. We've got some names. Here we go. Right. Oh my God, some of these. I'm just going to go through them. Sandy Robertson, Coplin, Carlton Palmer, John Eustace. I've got a good story about John Eustace when I was mascot.
Oh yeah.
I'll leave that for the Norwich game in the cup because that was where I was mascot. But I'll leave that.
We'll give you a little segment on the pod, mates. Tell your story.
We'll come back to the Dean's John Eustace story when he was mascot on the 9th of January we played them. Boozlin.
Oh yeah, Boozlin.
Sandy Robertson again.
Who's Sandy Robertson?
I'm sure we're getting trolled. Vicente Ngonga, David Rennie, Kevin Richardson.
Sandy Robertson.
Carter Balate didn't play for us. Kevin Thornton. Wow, that is a name. He had a few tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah.
He also had a
Yeah,
couple
he
of
ju- he
bottles
just
of
had-
vodka up there,
Yeah, he was
hasn't
on
he?
the booze, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Mate, Sandy Robertson played for us in 1994-95 season. Played 4 games. Scottish footballer.
Football of the year. Probably was if he was Scottish. Dennis Mortimer, Willie Boland. Now here we go. Dennis Wise. What a fantastic signing
Retired
he
at
was.
us, didn't he?
He did. Yep.
Quite a few people retired at Cov, like Tim Sherwood did as well.
Tim Sherwood, next one on the list.
There you go.
I remember asking him a question at a fans forum once, Tim Sherwood, and he basically laughed in my face and said he was basically here for the money. So there you go.
That's a very Tim Sherwood thing to do,
Yeah.
that.
Julian Darby, Barry Quinn, Tony Sheridan, Clement, Steve Staunton,
Steve Staunton, good player.
Owen Jess, another good player. Terry Yoraf, nice one, Tone. Tron Solvet.
Oh, yeah.
Is he on the back of that shirt? He played in that shirt.
Which shirt?
The shirt you're wearing.
Yeah, probably. I seem to remember him Did he play in like the purple and yellow kit?
He probably did, but I remember him seeing him in that shirt, for sure. Is that a bootleg one, or was that a real one? He doesn't know. It's a bootleg, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bootleg. That's fine.
Yeah. FMC, mate.
FMC, yeah. Willie Boland. Carl Baker.
Carl Baker.
He's still playing, isn't he? Isn't he playing for...
Yeah, facing and Eton.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
Still
still playing.
banging him in. Still banging him in on his left foot.
Gary McAllister, he would do a job in the middle of the park for sure. But I'm just going to scroll through and just get the most obscure names for the next 4. Obscure names. Colin Cameron.
Colin Cameron.
Not obscure, but I just want to talk about his goal. Don Hutchison, the goal at Leeds away. Was it Boxing Day he scored that? Yeah,
possibly.
It was over the Christmas period. Unbelievable strike.
Mm.
Honestly, one of the best goals I've seen in a Cov shirt for sure. Devin Kelly Evans and
Well, not Dion. What's Dion done wrong?
wasn't Devon the right back, or was Dion the right back?
I can't remember, mate. To be honest, I just remember they were really short.
Right, you can stop saying your names in now. The last name we're going to look at, and it's just absolutely random. Lauren Delors.
Lauren Delors. Right, I've got a story for you now.
Let's go.
So when I was
Lauren Delors story.
mascot at Sheffield United away in 2001, we won 1-0 and Lauren Delors scored the goal. There you go.
Is that the story?
Yeah, that's the story, mate.
I thought we'd have a little bit more than that. And unfortunately, that's where we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it on Tom's Lauren Delors story.
Mate, your story better be a belter at Norwich.
That will leave the fans coming back. For Saturday, we're back Saturday after the Sheffield Wednesday game at Hillsborough. We're back at Hillsborough, seen some famous victories in the past. Let's hope the Sky Blues can pick another 3 points up at that famous old ground. Tom, thanks for joining me this evening.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Looking forward to Saturday.
Absolutely. Play off Sky Blues.